welcome everyone to the much anticipated, heavily overdue session 11 of our Wrath of the Righteous adventure path. Joining me today are 5 incredible role players who I have the privilege and the honor of being able to call acquaintances. With that being said, we're not going to do introductions, even though it's been a hot second. If you watched episode 1, session 1, you know who these beautiful fucksticks are. And we are just going to dive right into it. So when we last left off our intrepid crusaders, you all had risen up out of the Underdarkish-like areas beneath the city of Canabris. Canabris had been attacked by a horrific demonic invasion that sort of whispered, not even whispered, screamed to similar to a situation like the actual creation of the world wound itself. The ward stones had been destroyed, well, not all of them, but one of them had been destroyed, weakening the ward stone sort of protection along the border of Mendev and the world wound itself. But through some heroics, incredible dice luck, you all managed to stop Raylu Vorlesh, the architect of the world wound, from corrupting the ward stones and using them against the crusaders that had amassed along the border. In so doing that, a portion of the wardstone's power was transferred into each and every one of your souls, including none other than our boy, the man of the hour, Roderick. It has been about a week since the events of last session. The Crusaders, led by Queen Gelfrey of Mendev, have actually arrived in Canabris, and a large meeting in the council chambers of one of the not knocked over and destroyed buildings is taking place. The Queen sits at the head of the room in it's not an ostentatious chair. I hesitate to use the word throne because it's not one. But she sits there, glancing down at everyone as each of you in turn is allowed to give an explanation of the events that transpired. The Queen herself is a very no-nonsense kind of woman who is, nodding along, listening, and otherwise just taking it all in. My question that I have for the group: what are the key points you would give to Queen Gelfrey when she asks you just to explain to her precisely what happened in that chamber?
My lady, the events that transpired cannot be relayed in mere words. They were events that shook all of us to our cores. But through teamwork and a little bit of luck, we were able to overcome the odds of the evil that attempted to take over the town. We were initially beset upon by beasts we'd never seen before, a demon of some kind that was being summoned to assist them. Fortunately, our rogue was able to prevent them from more coming in, because the one that they sent was almost more than our party could bear. After they were dispatched, we made our way into the former fort, fought our way through, and made it to the top of the chamber where the wardstone was kept. And again, through teamwork and a little bit of luck, we were able to use the rod to destroy the wardstone. And in doing so, we met the architect of this diabolical, horrible plan, who swore that she would do everything in her power to destroy us all and the city utterly.
Well, it seems, good dwarf, that your actions have not only saved Canobris, but thousands upon thousands of lives of crusaders that had amassed along the border. You have my humble and heartfelt thanks. But I do have questions that I must ask. Your actions have destroyed not only the fragment of the wardstone that was held at the Grey Garrison, but each and every one of the wardstones that stood along the border between Mendev and the Worldwound proper. The backlash of energy has, candidly speaking, eviscerated much of the demonic hordes that had lined up along the border. For now, they seem to have been pushed back, miles upon miles, back into the corrupted lands of the Worldwound proper. Some of my most trusted advisors, however, have questions for you that they would wish to ask. Please, continue. And she motions over to one of the individuals that is here in the room, and this actual individual, you didn't really notice her at first. She was just kind of she was lurking, but you didn't really notice her. She was just kind of there. And she sort of slips out from behind this gentleman right here, this kind of twitchy looking rogue guy. And she just sort of slips over, and she's a little halfling with blonde hair, very tight ponytail, and she just sort of trots up and over just to the left of where the queen is sitting. And she has a really thick brown leather journal, and she's got a big quill that's way too big and ostentatious, and bobs and ebbs and bobs back and forth as she writes. And she says, "Now I am to understand that you made a conscious choice to destroy the wardstone. Now, yes, I've heard the reports, as have our glorious queen, Gelfrey, but I wonder, why didn't you seek to repair it, or, better yet, turn it against the demons proper without having to destroy it? It seems your actions have both destroyed many a demon, but at the same time have, well, completely destroyed the best protection we had against the Worldwound itself. I wonder, were your actions truly of good heart and nature?" And she just really lays it on thick. There's a couple of narrowed eyes glances, the cleric of Sarenrae, Kira, sort of looks over and looks just kind of offended for you guys. The cleric Stoziel of Shellen is wait a minute. Roderick goes to get up, and Mikhail, you can have a moment to sit him back down if you want to. He's like, "How fucking dare you?" No, how you would fucking what? But Horcus Worm sort of grumbles quietly to himself a little bit, allowing one of you, whoever wishes to speak, to defend yourself to this supposed accusation.
Yeah, Seer will climb onto the table and say, "My dear good lady, we were doing nothing but our actions were merely pragmatic. We had to do something. If we didn't do anything, a portal would have opened, and none of us would be sitting here right now. So could we have saved it? I don't know. It wasn't in our briefing of how to save it."
Storic puts his hand up.
Queen motions to Storic.
And Seer runs over to you. He hops over the table and then grabs your hand and holds it even higher.
So, as you may or may not be aware, arcane forces were involved in this perversion of the wardstone. And because it was in the possession of the demonic hordes, they had great amounts of time to turn it to their cause. And in fact, were mid-ritual as we arrived, in order to summon someone with enough power and strength to complete that perversion. Now, I don't know about you, but I am no expert in reversing demonic perversion in such a timely fashion that I could prevent it from obliterating the forces of the crusade. However, what I am confident of is that if you apply a wand of negation or rod of negation to such a perverted wardstone, you can avoid those energies being released. And so, in collaboration with my colleagues at the the Dawnlight Inn and the College of Mages or the remainder of them, of course, of Canabris, we determined that there was no better course of action for the circumstances in which we found ourselves. Would I have preferred to reverse the perversion? Of course. What a fabulous opportunity for research. And yet, there we were, sitting at the foot of this stone, and honestly, I had to use a dragon scale to remove the protections that were afforded to it by the demons. And so, as you can imagine, the problem inherently was that there was a lack of time.
Indeed, we were hard-pressed to make a hard decision in one moment, with no one else to turn to. However, there's another point that we need to consider, and that is, it was not, in fact, destroyed. It was changed. The wardstones themselves are not merely inanimate objects that channel an energy. They do something of will, and they protect us, not because it's how they were arranged, it's how their fundamental pieces were set up. It is not a horse and a cart, a thing of function. It is its own pure choice and energy. When we destroyed the physical housing that was being corrupted, we set free the very heart that was protecting all of us from the war wound. And it's true that the line of defense was changed. It let out a mighty yawp, which took down our foe, but then reassigned and reproportioned itself among all of us that were present. We are now the mobile housing for several different pieces of that wardstone, because where it was not only insecure, but actually in the enemy possession.
The halfling goes to protest, like maybe push again, and the queen like raises her hand. The halfling sort of looks back and nods, and the queen says, "Please do not mistake. Please do not mistake Nora's questions for implications, or that she is implying that what you did was wrong. We're simply seeking to understand the steps and decisions that were taken to perform this action. I am wholeheartedly in agreement that the destruction of the wardstones was the only option we had, and a good one at that. Had Vorlesh been allowed to corrupt them fully, thousands, nearly tens of thousands of men and women would have died. Along the border, crusaders, men-at-arms, women as well. But now we have a chance to truly strike back against the world wound and the demonic incursion that has plagued these lands for well over 100 years. How familiar are all of you with the First, Second, Third, and Fourth Crusades?
How familiar are we with the First, Second, and Third Crusades?
Zorik, you probably know a lot. You're a wizard. Finbar, you probably know some with like Dwarven, like Torag members, worshippers. So basically, there's been 4 attempts prior over the last 100 years for forces to go into the world moon and try to close it, right? The most successful one was like the third that went in and actually like was a good 30-40 miles into the world moon, set up a town called Dresden, and was actually able to like hold out for close to a decade, right? And after that one fell, there was a 4th attempt to retake that city. It failed miserably, and it's been many, many years, a couple of decades since another crusade was attempted. So you'd be very easily able to say, I know this, etc. The queen nods along, agreeing, and whatnot, and says, then you are aware of the dangers that lurk in the world wound proper. What I am about to ask you is not something that... It is not an easy task, but one that I believe you are best suited to perform, for the very reasons you, Mikhail, have just stated. Well, there are some narrow-minded souls among the Crusade who blame you for for the destruction of the Wardstone border. I do not begrudge you for what you did. Far from it. From the sounds of it, you saved entire legions of crusaders from the most vile fate by preventing Vorlesh from transforming them, and the blast of energy gave us the time we needed to regroup and prepare what will certainly come next. But you understand the implications of what you've done, I'm sure, as we have discussed. The Wardstones are indeed gone, but Iomedae has indeed seen fit that you will be their replacement. I can think of no other reason that would explain why their powers would have settled in the bodies and souls, and didn't merely fade into the ether. In time, the demons will regroup and reorganize. We can trust their inherent chaos to make this period of regrouping longer than would otherwise take, but we shouldn't underestimate them. Back soon enough. Already I have reports from along the front lines that small groups of demons are attacking fortifications and settlements along the southern border. But what intrigues me most is the news from several reliable sources that our abyssal enemies are starting to amass on the southern reaches of the Rift Shadow within the World Wound, that they have left several of their northern layers relatively unprotected. In particular, the demon, Aponvictilis, has taken the bulk of her army from Dresden, leaving it only moderately protected as she joins the Storm King and is, to, no doubt, plot greater attacks on larger targets like Nisorian, Cacao, and beyond. The time is right, I believe, to strike deep into the heart of their territory. Dresden was the first of our cities to fall after the Third Crusade, and we lost more than our kin and our pride that day. We also lost the Sword of Valor, a magical banner carried by the Inheritor herself during the Shining Crusade. If Dresden could be, dare I speak it, retaken, if the Sword of Valor could once again be held by the Crusade, well, I trust I don't need to explain to you how well that would affect morale. But with the imminent attacks along the border, I cannot spare many to lead an assault to Dresden. And even if I could, a large army attacking would only draw the demons back to the place to defend. The most obvious tactic is to send a small group of capable heroes with a modest, well-trained army to strike now, while the proverbial iron is hot. And this is why I have sought you out. And if you can retake Dresden, reclaim the Sword of Valor, not only will you silence the fools who would brand you traitors for destroying the Wardstone, but more importantly, you would bolster the entire war effort with your heroism. And I fear we will need all the bolstering we can get. There's a couple of nods, some head bobs. People look to the heroes, as it were, very pointedly. And she opens the floor for questions. But what she's effectively asking you to do at this point is to lead the Fifth Crusade back into the World Wound, and hopefully, if all goes well, maybe close that abyssal anus forever.
We're gonna need
I
a
shall
banner.
be your sworn proctologist.
First, my lady, I would like to extend a hearty invitation to those that choose to second guess our actions prior. If they feel they can accomplish these tasks so well, we welcome them as architects of our assault.
Vanguard.
If they choose to remain in the rear, then they will have to take what they get.
Perhaps they will have to hear tell of your heroics from missives rather than seeing it with their own two eyes.
I trust our bard will create a song that will light up the world once we're done.
Seeing what he's done prior, I would expect such great things from him. Absolutely, 100%. So, she fills you in a little bit on like the plan itself, etc. Do you guys have any specific questions you'd like to ask her about the plan, Dresden, who she recommends taking, anything of that nature.
Do we have a map maybe that would help us figure out where everything is?
Yeah, absolutely. I can get you a map. I got you. So there's a big map that is going to be scrolled out on the table, and it's going to show you sort of a overview of what you guys will be doing and where you will be walking to. So I'm going to kind of show you where it is. So you guys are down in Canabris right here, right? The intended path is to head up from Canabris to Velasha's Gift. Velasha's Gift is a small settlement that was along the border. They've lost communication from them and would like you to visit it and see what the heck's going on. From Velasha's Gift, you will take it all the way northward up to Verleth Ford, which is a known passing across the river that separates Mendev from the World Moon proper. From there, you'll head to Keeper's Canyon, where you will pivot up and around, where the canyon sort of rises up to the plateau above, and that is where you will find Dresden. Pay no attention to this thing that says Gibbering Swarm, doesn't mean anything.
It's definitely not clear foreshadowing.
No, absolutely not. That is your map.
How many will be coming with us?
A phenomenal question, and poignant and practical, as your kind often is. I believe an army of no greater than 100 souls, not including yourselves and any specific individuals you wish to take with you. Anything larger would risk the demons realizing what we are attempting and pulling back their forces, which would quickly overwhelm us.
Logistically, I can come up with water and food for a small party, but 100 is a little above me.
That is why I'll be sending several specialists along with you as well. You've been introduced already to Kira. You've already been introduced to Stoziel. I too shall be sending along one of my best spies, Aaron Kerr, who we've got Aaron Kerr, we've got Kira, we've got Stoziel, and so too will I be sending along my bard, Nura. She shall be accompanying you to chronicle your journeys. Consider her one of those skeptics, and I would like her to see your deeds with her own two eyes.
We've already got a bard.
Yes, but this one, is... No, I'm just kidding, I was out of character.
This one can write.
Well, this one has a fancy quill. Do you have a fancy quill, Seer? Didn't fucking think so.
I'll show her my quill.
Oh, not in front of the queen, dude.
Not
Please
my
don't.
Christian Minecraft server, sir. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. This kitty is being such a kitty, let me tell you. All friggin' right. Yeah, so she's going to fill you in that she's going to be sending about 100 troops. They're actually like some of her most battle-hardened veterans, too. Like, she's not sending just like, here's a bunch of level 1 warriors. They're like 3rd, 4th, 5th level fighters. Like, there's like a couple of clerics. There's like a wizard. Like, there's some good battle people. So, a little out of character here for you. So, there is an alternate rule set, which is mass combat rules. Gonna be straight up, they're fucking terrible. The mass combat rules in Pathfinder are boring. I don't enjoy them. It's like you have like a defensive score and assault score. You can literally lose your entire army in one roll. It's super dumb. So it's just very much like a very it's not tactical. It's just, okay, I roll, they roll. So I do all of this narratively, and we have just some like big battles where like you guys are in the front lines, the troops are at the back. The whole army part of this plot is going to be more narrative. The only way that the army is going to fail is if you guys die, right? So that's how we're going to do it. I will sometimes offer descriptions of like, okay, you've lost like 10 men in this fight, you were saved them, etc. But it's more of a narrative device than a mechanical one, because I'd hate to be like, oh, I guess you guys lost, your army's dead. Good game. The demons
Fight your way back.
Eat your souls, I guess. Bye. Like, that's stupid. So that's how we're gonna handle it. Make sense?
Sure.
Any complaints?
Yes, sir.
No.
Good.
No.
All right, carry on. All right. So other than that, she mentions that the Sword of Valor is a battle standard, an artifact once carried by Omade herself during the Shining Crusade. The Church loaned the banner to the First Mendevian Crusade and allowed it to hang in. The Third Mendevian Crusade allowed it to hang in Dresden, where it bolstered Crusader morale and, perhaps more importantly, warded against demonic attacks, deceptions, and even teleportation. So what she tells you is that this banner, once risen in a city, creates a 10-mile radius where planar travel from chaotic evil or like demons is impossible. They literally can't teleport in or out, so it makes it almost impossible for them to attack. It also weakens them, makes it to where like they suffer crazy minuses to their stats, like minuses to strength, dex, con, like will saves. It basically turns them into mush. It's a very powerful tool. Not impossible to be defeated, but gives you guys a huge leg up. So that's what it is. And yeah, she mentions that Dresden was a foothold during the Third Mendevian Crusade, and is a strategic foothold inside the World Wound. Dwarves, gives a pointed look to Finbar, chills at it from a rock hill near the surface, a source of the Shellen River. It held for well over a decade, withstanding almost constant war before traders turned the Sword of Valor over to the demons. We never found out who it was, but the Sword of Valor's protection gone, the demons overwhelmed Dresden in one night. So, good luck. Good luck storming the castle. Think they're gonna make it? It would take a miracle.
So, do we have an idea of where the Sword of Valor is now, then?
Believe it's being held in Dresden, likely in the dungeon. They may be attempting to corrupt it.
Perfect.
That's what our spies say, but it is a powerful artifact that is not easily corrupted.
And this banner, is she giving this to us now, or is this what we have to find?
That's what you have to find in Dresden.
We have to go
So
get it.
apparently it didn't do Dresden much good. So how powerful is it?
Well, it did good until traders like turned it over to the demons. It
Oh,
allowed a city to exist in the World Wound proper for over a decade until traders like took it down. So, yeah. The problem wasn't the demons, the problems was like humanoid traders, unfortunately.
Humans.
Fucking humans. Yeah. Roger looks over to him, he's like, humans, am I right? It's funny. All right. What other questions do you have for the queen?
When do we leave?
I would recommend you take
oh,
a night's rest, but I would hope you would set out on the morrow.
and Seer, he addresses the queen. Now, when I find this banner, can I change the artwork?
Absolutely not. It is a holy artifact of Iomade. How dare you, sir? You were right. See him hung. No, I'm just kidding. I would prefer that you did not. It is a banner, a standard banner of Iomade, the inheritor herself.
I put my arm around Seer and I say, changing the standard would probably change its powers, and we don't want that.
A narrowed-eyed stare from Nura. That one.
You better watch me close, Nira.
Oh, believe me, I'll have my eyes on you.
Excellent.
Don't confuse proximity with permission.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Safe word.
Safe word. Wordstone. Mythic.
Mythic
not a my
quill.
not a my Christian Pathfinder server. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, cool. So you guys have some time. Do you have any? Whatchamacallits?
Last
purchasing,
request.
shopping, last requests, questions, comments, concerns, anything of that nature.
I'm gonna make a few, because I think I can make up to my level potions for the rogue.
Oh, that's right.
So
The army, the Knights of Canabris, the army is a lawful good medium army of human paladins level 4. So like, and like a couple
Sweet.
clerics too. So like it's a good army. Like they're gonna fuck shit up. Like she's sending like literally 100 paladins with you. Like she's taking a lot of her sergeants and like lieutenants and stuff and being like, go do shit. So yeah.
And every one of them has to salute me.
Nice.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh, okay.
So other people you can bring with you. You can bring Aaron Vashno, Anivia, basically all the NPCs if you want to bring them. Like you can bring the entirety of them. Henry is going to stay behind in Canabris, but like Stelziel is going to go. Kira, Roderick obviously, our boy here obviously, Irabeth, Anivia. Horgus Gwyrm actually will pull aside. He's gonna pull aside Fyrus of all people. Says, could I have a word with you? A moment of your time.
Sure.
Shut up, Gargamel.
He sort of rubs his double chin a little bit as he does so. I'm going to be honest. I think all of you are going to march in there and die. I don't
Yeah,
wish
probably.
it. Well, I don't wish it, but should things go well, here in Canabris, I'm going to be working on some preemptive supply lines to bring to Dresden. Not only will you need an army to retake it, you'll need craftsmen, workers, farmers even. Those that can see to the day-to-day of a city. I will see what I can pull together. If I don't hear from you in 4 weeks' time, I'll assume you're dead. But if I do hear from you before then, I'll see that you have the workers, materials, and supplies needed to turn Dresden from a demonic-infested hellhole into a proper city, both capable and worth defending.
So 4 weeks. Got it.
So he kind of like fills you in a little bit more. Horgus is an asshole, right? Like he's a grumpy merchant man, but he's like, once you get things set up, I will help you guys get supplies at discounted prices. So mechanically speaking, once you guys get Dresden retaken and fixed, Horgus Gorm kind of becomes like the merchant of the thing, and he'll let you buy things at like 90% value and sell things at 60%. So like, I'm glad you didn't let him die. Because he's a huge part of the campaign with that, and he's still gonna grumble about it, but he does help as much as he can to kind of help you guys get some extra supplies. Other than that, though,
Oh, Darewolf?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is proper to RP out or if this is just something I can ask you. Are there other, I don't know what the diminutive of artifact is, but other items of interest along the way between us and Dresden that we should keep an eye out for?
This will actually come from Kira, who says this. There is a place that I would seek out along the pathway to Dresden. To the east, 30 or 40 miles from where Dresden stood, there was a small chapel of Sarenrae that was constructed. When Dresden still stood, the chapel was a safe haven for those traveling between Canobris and Dresden proper. When Dresden fell, well, I am unsure of what became of that chapel. If we have time and capability, I would seek it out. There are likely artifacts or things of power that may have been left there. At the very least, if we could cleanse it of any abyssal taint, it would do my heart good.
Mine as well.
Abyssal taint.
Not on my Christian Pathfinder server, Storix.
He's just talking about his favorite metal band.
Oh, that's funny. Other than that, she says, and Stoziel picks up. Yes, indeed, Kira. Other than that, well, likely there are a myriad of artifacts that have been held. The city of Dresden actually contained a rather powerful forge, a celestial forge of sorts that was used to uncorrupt artifacts and weapons that had been used against the Crusaders. I fear that, with how long it has been in abyssal control, that forge has either been destroyed or, gods forbid, turned into the opposite, the antithesis of what it was. A forge used to corrupt items rather than purify them. If it still exists, perhaps we can use it.
I will make it my single-minded goal to seek out this forge.
How very Dwarven of you, my friend. And he offers you a very genuine smile. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right. Any other questions you have before we get ready to head out into the wild blue yonder?
Is there any steak and ale to be had in this town? It
Um,
might be a while before we see it again.
yeah, you all should have like a really nice meal before you head off, because it's gonna be nothing but trail rations and trail rations for a while. So, yeah. All frickin' right, boys. So the rest of the evening goes very smoothly, as it were. You meet the army, you are preparing, you get like who's in command of the different like groups and squadrons, we pick a marching order, etc. The crusaders are in high spirits at this point, these paladins of Iomade that are going to be sent with you. And as you are sitting around some of the fires and tents that have been set up in the city of Canabris, we're going to have a quick, quiet moment as Mikhail, you are perhaps seeing to prayers or whatever you would do in the evening right before you go to bed, and you hear the not quiet footsteps of, well, a companion, one known as Roderick, whom you've fought beside for the last week to 2 weeks at this point. He approaches and he gives you a very serious but curt nod and says, "Might I join you, brother?"
Like, nearly offended that he has to ask. Of course. Sit.
He sits down with a little bit of a, not a huff, but sort of just a soft breath out, and he looks to the fire, putting his hands by it. It's a cold night here in Canabris, though there is a lot of warmth, laughter, celebrations, excitement about this upcoming crusade. I'm going to ask you a question, Mikhail. I'm not one... Before I came to Canobris, I was one that found myself doubting everything that I did. When I met Finbar, he showed me the dwarven stubbornness, and I began to follow Torag. Perhaps out of a desire for certainty, but I found myself questioning my faith. Not that I think Torag should be questioned, but perhaps there is another. When we were in battle with those demons, I was filled with a kind of unbridled rage. At first, it scared me. But now I've come to feel as if it is an old friend. Am I making any sense, Mikhail?
That is exactly how I came to be a paladin of Raphael. There's that rage at injustice. There's the rage against the greedy. There's the rage against suffering. I had nowhere to take this. I had no way to express it. And someone showed me that with just a small amount of patience and an open heart, I could find the right places to apply this. And when I did find the right time, when I found the right target that needed to be stopped, that needed to be punished, the rest of my life fell into peace.
He nods along as Mikhail speaks, his expression solemn, not in a kind of sad sort of way, but in a kind of, hey bro, I think you get me. I think my desire to follow Torag was because I was afraid of my rage. But what you have told me now, Mikhail, the way I've seen you fight, the way we have fought together, brother, I think I needed only not to, I hesitate to say, not to control it, but to unleash it in the proper way. He like looks down at his hand, and there's just a kind of faint glow of like this white and golden energy that each of you has been experiencing from time to time. It looks almost like these sort of little wisps of smoke that sort of like dance around. Along Fyrus, it'll sort of like your fur will stand up. With Storic, as you pick up your spell book, you see these wisps of kind of like white and golden light. Whenever you are working with the Forge or praying Finbar Seer, when you are working and singing and composing music, Mikhail, when you are training, and he just looks down at it and he says, I do not wish to sound overconfident or arrogant, but I think we are meant to do something wonderful, Mikhail. Something that the bards like Sia, and he looks over to see like maybe Seer, you're off like entertaining some crusaders or something, doing the things that Seer does. Something that a bard like Sia might sing about in a tavern years to come from now. I have but one favor to ask, Mikhail. Do not allow me to be consumed by my rage. Watch me and help direct anger I feel to the proper places. Can I count on you?
You can absolutely count on me. I ask you to look back at our army here. Do you have rage for any of these men?
No. I think I have fear for them.
Look forward.
Okay, no.
Fear is conquered by knowledge and experience. Look forward to where we're going. That is something against which we must rage. And when you get there, just as we have every way out of that pit we fell into, when you find those worthy of the rage, they will suffer. And when they fall, you will feel the relief. And you can turn back in peace. I do not think that you, my young human friend, are going to be consumed by anything that you cannot control. And when you find the right moment, you will let go of that control. And the demons in the war wound will fear you like no other before you.
You have a way with words, Mikhail. I think in another life you may have been a bard like Sia. Thank you.
Oh, God. Shush!
And he laughs, and you guys have just a nice chat by the fire in the evening, discussing plans and tactics, and sharing some booze or whatever you guys want to do, and just have a nice evening. We cut over now to Storic, who is perhaps hanging out with his wizard bros, and there are there's some soft steps. And a character we haven't seen in a couple of sessions actually approaches you. It is Lady Lily de la Soul. Lady Lily de la Soul. She approaches you. She has been acting as a kind of like nurse, or like almost like not necessarily a servant, but like a server girl. She's like seeing to water and food, and she's got like her hair pulled up in a bun, and she's dressed more in sort of like common clothing, not so fancy as she was before. But as she sees Storic, and let me just kind of pop her up so you remember what she looks like. As she sees Storic, she offers a very light, polite smile, and sort of like briskly moves over to him, planting just like a very like soft hand on his shoulder if allowed, and she just smiles to him and says, "I had heard that you had survived the assault on the Grey Garrison, but well, I had not seen you with my own two eyes. It is good to see that the rumors of your survival were not exaggerated. How do you feel? How do you fare?"
Well, you would not believe this, but we use a wand of negation on the wardstone and such. Thus, we have received some powers. I believe we've been blessed by Iomade. However, the clerics have been very cagey about providing me with the details of how such a power transference would occur. I suspect they think that because of my prodigious intellect, I will be able to reverse the reverse engineer the type of magics necessary, thus allowing me to have a greater than perhaps they feel I deserve portion of the Iomadeic energies, which might weaken, Iomade in general, or perhaps even the church. Access to divine powers is always closely guarded by religions, which is silly because all of us who worship gods should have access to these divine powers. And, of course, if we were able to do so, then healing magics would be a matter of simplicity, and every single soldier would be able to heal his own wounds. Although I guess that would then cause the problem of if opposing armies can heal their own wounds, they'd perpetually be attacking each other. Okay, so perhaps the church does have some good reasons why they might want to prevent people from all having access to divine power, but two gods would know. No, the gods are fairly callous and
She gives your shoulder a slight squeeze as like it's okay, and then like she has a mug of like ale or something that she like brings up that she had like she was holding low at her hip, and from her like her belt she has like a couple of cups that were hanging on it, and she says, "Would you like something to drink, Stork?"
Oh, please.
Pours you a mug, offers it to you, and just listens to you ramble a little bit longer, and it's very like she's just very like polite about it as she's listening to you ramble and ribble and ruble and ramble, as it were. And as you finally at some point after 15 to 35 hours finally settle down, she, it's been several days, the crusader already left without you. Oh, you should probably catch up with
Yep.
them. No, I'm kidding. But she says, "I would like to offer you something, Storik. A token. Consider it a token of good luck."
Oh, I'd be delighted. Although I think that's really more of a knighthood thing. Perhaps the paladins would. Although I don't want to turn down. Never mind. Of course, I'd be delighted.
She like reaches into a little pouch where next to where the cups were, just like a little pouch, and she pulls out a small locket, a silver locket, with the symbol of a like an eye on it, and that eye has like a swirling vortex behind it. And there's a little purple gem that's in the center where like the iris would be, or like the pupil, excuse me, would be. And it looks like it can like open up and close, like it might be like a picture locket. But it's like it's got a little silver chain that you could be worn, and she like offers it to you.
Can I make a check to see if I know whether that's an actual representation of something or whether it's just art?
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to make a knowledge religion or planes check.
I will make a knowledge of the planes because, as you may imagine, I'm way better at that than religion.
That makes sense.
He knows his F-22s.
Yeah. So you would recognize this symbol as a very, very, very old symbol of a group of, I would say, a cabal of wizards. Cabal. Not necessarily a bad thing. Cabal doesn't have to be bad. But a cabal of wizards that acted against and worked against the demonic hordes. The name, even with the 33, is lost to you, as it may well be lost to time. But this cabal of wizards, they did things in a not so like let me put it this way. They used devils to fight demons. Like they tried to do the right thing, but they used grim tools in which to do it. Like they were infernalists, okay? And not necessarily like they were like probably lawful evil to the extreme of like, yeah, we fucking hate chaos. Chaos can go fuck itself, and like the Whirlwind is an affront to law and order. Like that's how these guys were. They got all fucked up by demons back in the day, but she's going to offer this locket to you.
In which case, knowing that it's a reference to wizards of old, I will absolutely take it.
Perfect. Excellent. Give me a will save. Just kidding. All right. So as you pick it up and take it, she smiles and she shows you the little clasp that you can open. As you open it up, you actually notice that there's no pictures inside. And she says, "This locket, it has been with me for some time. For a while, I carried a picture of my late husband in it, and our children. Unfortunately, they were lost to a story I don't truly wish to tell again. But something tells me that you might find someone that is worthy to be held in this locket. Think of it as a good luck charm, to know that although I will not be with you, I'll be thinking of you and wishing you well."
Well, thank you, my lady. And then he'll do a super awkward bow, it's a bow that would have
give me
been
a
very
reflex
formal like
save.
700 years ago.
Give me a reflex save. Cool, you accidentally headbutt her. And she's like, "Oh, damn it! Oh, why did you do that? Oh, dear, that was. I'm assuming you were trying to. Oh, yes, Curtsy. All right.
Oh,
Good luck,
Jesus.
Storik. Have a good. Ow, my noggin. Yeah. So this locket, I want you to label it Infernalist's Wizard Locket. All right.
Okay.
Yep. Or actually, name it Cabal Wizard Locket, because that's funny to me. All right.
Cabal Wizard Locket.
Two things. All right. This locket is going to act as basically in the same way that a headband of intelligence acts. Currently, it will give you a +2 to your intelligence score, and on top of that, it will also give you a +5 to spellcraft.
Ooh.
In addition, once per day, it will allow you to effectively give yourself spell resistance equal to your level plus your intelligence modifier against one spell attack against you. That spell attack has to come from a chaotic evil source and be a demon type.
Demonic, not devilish. Demonic
Source. There are also some other things I'm not going to tell you about that probably aren't good, but anyway, moving on. So, as we get ready to leave, anybody else have any scenes they'd like to have?
I'm not sure if it requires an entire scene, but is there an illustration or something about the Celestial Forge, historically that I could reference?
So the Celestial Forge was literally a forge that was blessed by, like, 20 clerics of Torag that had the power to, like, uncorrupt weapons. So let's say you had, like, a +5 vicious unholy great axe. It could turn it into a +5 defending holy great axe. Like, it reverse engineers, like, and it also basically gives you remember the Anvil of Torag from Solaria, Storik? It's basically that.
Yes.
It's basically, I mean, Drew should remember that, right?
Yep.
He should fucking remember that of all people. He was the goddamn dwarf. But yeah, so it's basically like it gives you like access to every single crafting feat. You don't actually have to have it. Gives you like a +20 on the check. Like, it's a powerful fucking artifact. So definitely hasn't been corrupted. It has been. Funny. Oh boy, howdy. Yeah. What else you got?
Okie doke. No, that's what I did.
Can I hate that I'm going to suggest doing this.
Do it.
But I need to try and find the guy that gave me the belt to give him the belt back.
Aaron Kerr, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's that guy that's coming with us, isn't it?
So you find Aaron Kerr off in a quiet single-person tent. You smell him before you see him, and as you approach the tent, there's something that you smell that doesn't smell quite right. Give me a perception check real quick.
Hey, I'll have you know I bathe when I can, all right?
Well, there'll be no bathing for you and Roderick tonight.
Heyo.
Heyo. Beerus, you pick up this. It smells like a kind of like a
Burning.
Spirit?
like a soured. It smells sour, but there's also like a candied apple scent to it. It's almost like a rotten apple was candied. Is the best way I can describe it. Like it smells. It's sour, but there's a sweetness to it.
He's got
As
his
you-
shoes off.
As you approach the the tent, are you just walking up or are you being quiet?
I mean, I'm gonna say the typical player thing is I'm always quiet, but I mean I'm a cat. I'm usually fairly quiet. I don't announce my presence.
Cool. As you open up the tent, open up the tent flap to see him, he is like over in the corner, kind of crouched over, working with something. As you open the tent, he like looks over his shoulder and quickly tucks something. You don't see what it is with the 15, but he quickly tucks something into his pocket, like into the lapel of his jacket, and turns and says, "Oh, Fierce, I didn't hear you coming. Something you need?"
I just well, I wanted to give you your belt back.
Oh, the funny thing about that, I actually have already replaced it. I figured you might need it moving to where we're going. It's a useful bit of, well, equipment, isn't it?
It is, and I appreciate that. Do you want anything for it?
Oh, no, I'm quite fine. Thank you. Just don't die, I suppose. You seem like a good sort.
Cool.
Need more
You
of those
too,
in
man.
these dark well, yeah, need more of those in these dark times, don't we? Yes.
Indeed.
Yep. Well.
I go to shake his hand.
Yeah.
I try and pick his pocket.
Fuck yeah,
I
you
mean,
do.
we knew it was gonna happen.
You go to
Of
shake his
course
hand,
you
you
do.
do like a bro hug and like pull
Yeah.
it in close. And he's like, "Oh dear."
I don't actually want to steal it. I just want to see what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's gonna be a
Sleight of hand check.
sleight of hand check.
Moment of fucking truth. You know what, Fierce? Don't even roll. Don't even roll. I'm gonna let you auto succeed on this. You rolled anyway. That was a 23. That's really good. I'm gonna let this happen. So you actually managed to like bring him in, and as you pull back, your pinky claw clips the sort of like the little part of his coat. You're able to pull it out and see down into his pocket for a split second, where you see 3 vials that each contain a kind of like black wispy substance. Kind of smells like drugs.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, man. I
We've
am
got a skooma dealer.
beelining it
Skooma.
to Storic.
Ooh, he beelines it to Storic.
So, here's the thing, and I tell you everything about that, about the vials that I found and like what I smelled.
Wizard crack. Yes, of course.
Wizard crack! Ah, fantastic stuff. I use it myself.
I mean,
Give
is
me-
it fun?
Give me a knowledge the planes check on what he describes.
Sorry, I lost my sheet for a second. Boop, boop, boop. Knowledge the planes. Go.
Ah, yes. That sounds...
I'll buy that for $1.
That sounds an awful lot, based on his very quick description, like shadow essence. Shadow essence. Yeah. What you know about shadow essence, it is the liquefied remains of a shadow demon turned into a drug. It is highly addictive. It drains your strength and eventually turns you into a blob of a person who doesn't care about anything, and it is often used to get people addicted to the substance and then like force them to do terrible shit as like time goes
Like a blackmail tool.
on. Yeah, it's a
Like
blackmail tool.
Like French Connection 2.
Like real life. Yeah. So it's good times.
Yeah, I relay all of that. I'm like, oh, if you to who did you see carrying this? Because it is a dreadfully addictive substance, and those who are addicted to it are often forced into very precarious positions, both ethically and.
Yeah, it was Aaron Voshnall.
Not Aaron
Wait.
Voshnall, Aaron Kerr.
Aaron Kerr, I'm sorry.
The elf would never partake of such dreadful things. What do you think, he is a human? Humans, am I right, Mikhail?
Yeah.
Well, we should at least bring it to the attention of his commander, I suppose.
I mean, is there anything we can just do?
Well, if you're looking to solve a matter of addiction, we probably need to involve the cleric with his divine magics and such.
Cool, I'll
it
be
might
back.
be
And he
possible.
like bounces out before you even finish talking. And he goes and retrieves the cleric.
Which
Hey.
one? Finbar?
Poke.
Good.
Yeah. Finbar.
What?
Finbar, you're in the middle of a conversation with Kira. Alright? And she's like, I understand that Torek is the god of the forges and dwarves and is the father of all of your kind. But I wonder, how many of dwarves that you know choose to worship other gods than their creation father? Is it a common thing, or less so?
Torag is a very
Hey, yeah, this is
popular-
fascinating. Can I borrow the old man?
Ah, yes. If the cat has something pressing, we can save this conversation for another time, my friend.
You're interrupting us. What's on your mind? What's going on?
I need your help.
Oh, okay.
Stork and I need your help. Come on.
Oh no. Okay.
And he just bounces.
Ah,
Kira, I apologize. I must see to this. It could be anything with these two.
He
no,
kind of has.
no
I mean,
apology.
he's kind of got the zoomies.
May I interject as you're walking back to Stork?
100% you should interject. I was about to be like, and you run into Seer as you go to leave.
You're walking by Nura's tent, and Seer's in there, and he's got his quill out, and he says, "See, I made this myself. It's not very long, but it's for combat purposes and packing. But you notice the girth, easy to hold on to in combat." And then he
shoves
just
his head in the
walking
tent.
by.
What the fuck are you talking about?
And that halfling is just giving you this look like, I didn't invite you in here.
How did you get into my tent?
How did you get into my tent?
The side door, and you notice that Seer had made it with his dagger.
He got open into her
It's
tent.
just a hole cut.
She's like, you're not helping your case here. B&E, fucking pervert, like it's a whole thing. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I love it. All right, so you've gathered all of the forces except for Mikhail, who's busy.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I relate what's going on.
I cast mending on the little blonde halfling's tent
He says,
to prevent
"Thank
further
you,"
perversions.
and says if he comes in here again, I'm filing a formal complaint.
I've gone back to the book in my tent. I'm just like, oh, well, yeah, everybody left.
Fenris, what's going on?
I relay all of what I found. The shadow goo,
Essence.
shadow essence. Yeah, that stuff.
The drug, not the poison.
Yeah.
So he's an addict and potentially being blackmailed. Is that kind of the feeling we're getting?
Well, it's less that we think he was blackmailed now and more that being addicted to something this addictive, especially if suddenly his source dries up, will make him very open to blackmail.
Well, let's turn the equation backward. This doesn't seem like something you just stumble over. Where would he get something like that? I would think it would have to come from either someone of great heroism that has slain many shadow demons, or, I don't know, somebody that makes shadow demons. And seeing what I've seen lately, I'm kind of leaning towards the latter.
I suppose I had not given much thought to the sourcing of shadow essence.
I mean, it's not like you can go down to Horace's place and pick it up off the shelf, right? This is
Well,
pretty
it is
exotic
possible.
stuff.
Well, ordinarily I would say that yes, but of course Canabras has been somewhat more demonic of late, so it's possible that there were just shadow demon corpses laying around once the wardstone fired. So it's possible that it's not no more.
Let's play this out. Let's assume there was a heap of shadow demon bodies in the town square. What sort of person has the abilities to create this essence from the bodies?
Oftentimes, it's actually Shadow Demon that will take a portion of itself, or someone that can control Shadow Demons and will basically turn them into
Milk
this.
them?
Milk them, yeah.
Oh God,
Very
this got more awful than I.
This session is highly sexual, but you know it happens.
So, regardless, this is a bad thing in the hands of someone that we're supposed to trust, yeah?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
real bad.
So, I feel that us confronting him might make it worse, but it might be a better idea to involve those that are closer to him, because we are outsiders, right, to their little group. They had been here working together long before we came on the scene. Perhaps we should tell that, big angry paladin that seems to be the leader around here and let her figure out what the best course of action would be.
Yes, speech was commander. That's what I said. Fierce just hoped that there would be some easier path.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get the guy in trouble. He was like really cool to me.
Totally with you. However, if the decisions are get him the help he needs or wake up dead, I kind of like the first one.
But what if we simply used healing magic to remove his addiction, therefore causing him to trust us instead?
Reasonable. However, you have to wonder what the motivations were of someone that initially introduced it to him.
Right. So then we just observe the man and see if anyone approaches him with unreasonable demands that he can now say no to, and then we've identified the leak in our.
I understand.
How deadly is this drug? Like, could he overdose on it?
Yeah, I mean, so you could. The amount that you saw and that he described, Historic, is enough to keep him addicted but not kill him. Basically, imagine like it does strength drain or strength damage, right? You drink it, does strength damage, makes you weak, but also makes you feel like good. It's basically like Pathfinder heroin, right? Like it's gonna turn you into a blob, but like it also apparently is the best feeling in the entire fucking world, right? Don't do drugs, kids. But with that being said, I have a friend of mine who always says, "Don't fucking do coke. It's too fun." And I agree with him, and I've never tried it, so don't do drugs.
It's the only reason I've never done coke.
Yep, don't do drugs. But anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna get canceled. It's great, but no. With that being said, it's like that. It's like fantasy coke heroin or heroin coke. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fop is right. We should go to his commander and let them sort it out.
Can we do it anonymously? I don't want him to know it's me.
Dropbox.
Crusader suggestions here.
Uh,
It's completely anonymous, mostly.
Stork, is there some sort of cantrip or something you have that could deliver an anonymous note to where Irabeth is staying?
Or we could just write a note and just give it to her.
Yeah, but if we give it to her, that kind of takes the mystery out now, doesn't it?
Well, we just lie. Well, I don't understand.
I could go through her side
Oh
door.
wait. Ferris turns around for a second
Go through her side door. What the fuck?
and like kind of fumbles around a bit and then turns around. Let's see how well that did. And he looks like a completely different cat.
I would like to imagine
Yeah,
he
there.
thinks he looks like a completely different cat, but then like he does, but like canonically he just has a mustache on now. It's
And
a
there's
really
only-
convincing mustache.
And there's only one cat folk in the entire camp.
Well, no, there's two, because there's you and then there's this mustache guy.
Yeah.
It's Fierce's brother, Miras.
Cool. I'm gonna do a insight check to see if I realize it's a different. No, I'm kidding.
Write the note, and we could have Fierce maybe slip it into her tent while she's not there. That seems like something that we can do, right?
Or you could give it to me and I could just lie to her. I'm
All right,
so
that's
confused.
that's a good idea. You just go live.
I have
I'll
a
just-
great bluff
I'll just
check.
tell her that I don't remember who. Oh wait, I have to know who. That I was passed this note anonymously about someone named Aaron. I don't even know. I'm not gonna lie to you, gentlemen. I'm not sure which guy Aaron Kerr is. There's a bunch of people with A names. It's very confusing. You all have the same face, he says to a room full of different raced people.
Bella.
Terrible.
She's here.
Terrible.
Stork, I'll leave it up to you. Your wizardly intelligence might be our savior here.
Oh, you flatterer.
I mean, I'm great at lying.
No, I know. That's why it's very funny to me that I'm like, I'll go lie to them.
I appreciate your zeal, Seer, but I also don't believe that she would be near as accommodating if you tried to create extra openings into her tent.
I'll just make her believe she needed it.
It's a speed hole.
Meanwhile, Stork has already pulled out a sheet of parchment and a quill, and he's drafting what is perhaps the most ridiculous. I, a random person, definitely saw Aaron Kerr snorting some shadow essence. Now, I don't know what shadow essence is, and I had to confer with my compatriots to find a shadow essence man who could know what drugs were. But luckily, I was able to do so, because I'm a peasant. Period. And so,
In the
it
most
should be
flowing
known to
handwriting
someone.
ever.
Calligraphy.
I think that Finbar will excuse himself. It's like, gentlemen, I need to go to the little dwarves' room, and I will seek out Irabeth, and I will tell her that it's come to my attention that one of your employ might be, what's from
Addicted
looking
to
for?
Aaron
something.
Burr. I believe he may have killed one of the other soldiers. Hamilton,
so
I believe his name was?
as you go to Irabeth, she like listens to you real quick, Finbar, and then gets a very like furrowed brow, and she says, "You're telling me that the man we sent ahead to scout for us, just 15 minutes ago, addicted to shadow essence?
That's the story I
At worst,
understand.
he is an addict. At best, he is an addict. At worst, he's an enemy spy."
I thought it would be best to bring this to your attention as soon as I found out.
God's fucking damn it. Get the troops together. We march. Within 30 minutes. We have to catch him. Now.
And as she starts giving orders to everybody, Stork arrives. I'm now wearing a very fancy hat, and I'm I'm holding a letter. The letter has been folded up very nicely. It's sealed with my ring because I'm not very good at lying.
We know.
And I'm like, oh, Beth, you're a Dale lady, paladin woman. Sorry, you all look the same. Someone has handed me this letter.
I turn to Stork and I say, she's literally green. She's obviously Erebeth. What's so hard
I don't
about
have
this?
time for this Stoic and your silly costumes. Get ready to depart.
What? Silly, did you see
And
oh,
like everyone's like the horn is sounded, everyone gets ready to march, and you guys are going to be heading out in the evening, unfortunately. Because apparently Aaron Kerr went ahead 15 to 30 minutes prior to all of this chaos just unfolding in the discussions and the back and forth and what have you. And that's not good, because apparently the forward scout is a shadow essence addict. Surely nothing bad will come of that.
nah, it seems fine.
It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing. I did roll it randomly. I rolled 2 random encounter things and got 2 reds. So unfortunately, he left before you could get to him. There was a chance. I let the dice decide. Unfortunately, he left beforehand. All right, so the 5th Crusade is able to begin to march off, and you leave early. The first 22 miles, there's some grogginess, there's maybe a little bit of complaints, but most of those complaints are quickly hushed over the first day of travel. Unfortunately, a single man moving by himself moves much quicker than an army of 100 souls marching in order with carts, supplies, gear, provisions and whatnot. So it is, you guys are unfortunately unlikely to catch him, but if he is a spy, if he is a spy at worst, or at best just an addict, you'll be close on his tail, as close can be. The first day goes well. You march well into the morning and well into the evening. The army gets tired. You make for camp. As you make for camp, you get closer and closer to a village known as Velasha's Gift. Velasha's Gift was a small fishing community that had been set upon the shores of the Selin River, which is where you guys are going to be making your way into and beyond. And as you get close to the city, it is like evening-ish at this point. But I'm going to give you guys some perception checks as you look down on the village to see what can potentially be seen.
Perception. It's time for perception. I roll a 15. That's 2 plus 13.
What?
What?
Damn it. It's like I got a plus 10 on perception. I got a 13.
Kyle,
What?
as you look down over the village, this is what you see. The village is, perhaps surprisingly, not abandoned. You see a few, maybe a dozen or so, perhaps 2 dozen, would appear to be crusaders making camp within the city. The village, I should say. The issue that you see is that these crusaders, they seem off. But Mikhail, with that 28, you're able to notice that a lot of these crusaders, their armor that would have at one point been resplendently dedicated to Sarenrae or Aomade or Raphael, perhaps, has been smeared with blood. Blood of a horned goat-like creature. You see symbols of Baphomet. You see symbols of Discari, the swarm host of the World Wound. These are corrupted crusaders, moving about through the streets, every so often touching a shoulder, perhaps reaching into a back. Through this crusader is a wicked and nasty-looking creature that looks, well, a little bit like this thing that I'm about to show before you. At first, you think it is perhaps a trick of the evening light. While you are not in the World Wound proper, you are beginning to get closer to its border than you might like. Looking at this creature, it appears to be made of black, wispy smoke. The only indication that it is not just smoke is the fact that it has an open mouth, this kind of reddish maw that seems to be burning with black flame as it opens and closes its mouth slowly. And its eyes are two glowing orange orbs full of hatred. It seems to be caressing the corrupted crusaders. As you are looking down and through, among their numbers, you see, for a brief moment, a familiar face. Aaron Kerr. The demon passes something to the boy. Looks to be 2 or 3 small vials. Aaron has an expression that looks to be regretful, remorseful, but he takes them, pockets them. The demon points northward, and Aaron Kerr quickly takes off at a sprint, heading in that direction.
Okay. They know they're coming. They might not know that we're right here. They don't know that we know that they're a problem. We let them get drunk. We let them go to sleep. 2 o'clock in the morning, we storm in, kill everybody. Call it
Through
a
their
day.
side doors.
Indeed.
Everything a side door with you, man.
Now,
I make
a
them.
a
At least
competent-
he's not
That's 'cause
talking
I'm
about
the
the
back
prison
door man.
wallets.
Stop it! Stop it! This is a Christian Pathfinder server.
now a competent adversary would have scouts and lookouts of their own, right? I mean, we're looking down on the main village. Or is there anyone around that might see us? I mean, there's 105 of us.
Interestingly enough, no. They seem to just be kind of like laying in wait at this point.
Then I like the paladin's idea.
Like it. I am not always one for tactics, Finbar. That is something more for the marshals, the true marshals. But I think Mikhail, says Kira, has a good course of action. I believe if we rush down there with a full army, we will do nothing other than wake them. A small force, a contingent, likely the 5 or 6 of you, plus 1 or 2 others, should make their way in. The remainder of the army can station themselves on the eastern hill, I would say. Just a suggestion. Again, I am no true tactician.
The paladins that make up the bulk of our army, how proficient are they with ranged weapons?
A lot of them have like bows and like crossbows and stuff. They can do
Okay.
volleys if you want. Yeah.
Good, good. So, yeah, we descend upon them, and any that we don't kill immediately, we drive in a certain direction, and we tell the paladins if they see anybody skedaddling to the north to dispatch them at haste.
Death to the traitors. I like it. I like it good. All right, so here's how we're going to do this. Because you
One-
guys... Oh, go ahead,
Wolf?
Finbar. Yeah.
And I turn to Kira and I say, based on the transaction we just saw, I'm assuming that's a shadow demon. Do you have any experience battling these horrible, horrible creatures?
The only experience I have, Brother Finbar, is what I have read and obtained from books. I should say they are not to be trifled with.
Fair. Thank you, Kira.
I'm not sure what thanks I deserve for such paltry information, but you're welcome all the same.
Back to you, Dwarf. Sorry.
Not at all. Never apologize for role-playing. That's why we're here, buddy. All friggin' right, boys. So, you guys are going to get ready for an assault. You've got options. What I'm going to do to reward you for some good roleplay, discussing some tactics, and Mikhail's, pretty good idea of like, hey, well, descend on night. You guys are going to effectively get a surprise round and be able to assault them from whatever side you see fit. In addition, instead of them being clumped together, they're going to be spread out. You will get a surprise round. They will then have to wake up, grab gear, and then attack you. So you're effectively going to get like a surprise round and a full round to like fuck some shit up. Your army will be stationed wherever you tell me you want them to be stationed. If you guys want to come in from the north, drive them south. If you want to try to drive them to the east, there is a small, like, kind of like pond right here that, likely they aren't going to run into. You could, you've got options. Now, moving your army around to the north, not as likely, right? Like, that's probably not going to happen, right? Because it's just too big of an army. But either east or to the south, and then you drive them in that direction, definitely doable. So take a look at the map, discuss, talk amongst yourselves, and let me know how you guys would like to handle this.
All right, so
By the
we're
way, I
at the
love this
south.
map. Just FYI, love it. It's super, like, dreary and depressing.
Wolf, on our left border, is that the river?
That is the river. Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. So perhaps we use the woods to the southeast there to come and attack them from the east, pushing west, because attacking naked people in the river sounds like a good time.
I said this
I'll
was a
attend that
Christian
dance.
Pathfinder server, all right? These weird... oh, wait, never mind. That's not what you meant. All right, cool. We're going to move on past that. Cool. Now a word from our sponsors. Dear Wolfos, they are magically wolflicious. All right, so moving on. All right.
But I figure that if we attack from the east, say here, assuming we can get there,
Can.
and we have our army at the south, and anything between us and the river, they can just open fire on. Does that work for everybody else?
Good to me.
That sounds great.
Yeah, sounds good.
I love it.
You get me up.
Go ahead.
I'm
Get
eating
me
a
up to
baked
that
potato.
shadow demon. I can take it apart, and then maybe we don't have to kill everyone. I'm open to it, but maybe we don't have to.
By the way,
Um,
just for the DM's edification, I'm going to ask this out of character question. What paths did everyone take? Mikhail, what path did you take?
Oh,
Take that.
Marshall.
Marshall? Oh, nice. Oh, that makes sense for you. Yeah, I like that. I chose champion for Roderick. It just felt like it made the most sense, for sure. What about
Yep.
Fierce? Trickster?
Fierce is Trickster, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Finbar? Marshall?
No, geez, it starts with the H, I think. The Hierophant? Is that
Hierophant.
right?
Hierophant? Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one for you. Seer?
Marshall.
Marshall? Nice. And what about Stork Archmage?
I went Guardian. No, I went God.
Guardian? Really? Not
No,
Archmage?
no,
I was gonna
Archmage,
say, like, no
obviously.
way, man. There's no fucking way. Like, it's the only thing that makes sense. That's fantastic. That amulet surely will not corrupt you as time goes on. Anyway, so with
No,
that
of
being
course not.
said, here's what I'm thinking. We're about an hour and a half in. This fight's probably gonna take us an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half. Let's take a quick 5 to 10. Do our quick mid-session break that we often do, and then we'll dive back into it, and we'll roll some initiative and have ourselves a little schoolyard brawl. It's been a while, and I'm excited to see you guys with some mythic powers to use. All right?
Good plan.
Cool.
Love it.
5 to 10. All friggin' right, boys and girls. We're back a little early. Everyone rejoined, so I figured we'd get into it because we got a fight that we got to get through here. So, boys and girls, let's go ahead and roll some initiatives and see what the fuck happens.
Can I do Archon's Aura as a pre-fight prep?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Frickin' righty, boys and girls. And ever so slightly on the combat here, so our friends at home can see what's going on. Shadow Demon's about to learn that maybe, just maybe, having a bunch of drug addicts as your troops not the best decision. Maybe.
Junkie Squad, attack!
Tweakers, tweak!
Mental note.
Roll against catalytic converters.
Dear demonic journal. Shit.
First army down.
Frickin' right, boys and girls. Boys and girls.
Wow, Stork.
Woo, boy. Let's make sure everybody's in initiative here. Done. Turn 1. Alright, so. Furious, you're gonna get a surprise round. Now, normally, surprise rounds are just a standard action. But because of how well you have done your thing, you are going to get a full round plus a standard action. You may use those in whatever order you see fit. So you may double move and strike. You may move and strike twice. It is entirely up to you. Let the ambush begin.
Aha!
And position yourselves where you see fit in this little clearing right here.
All right. So where are these guys? Like, is this guy on top of a roof or something?
That guy is on a roof, sleeping under the beautiful, beautiful corrupted sky.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just sneak up behind this dude. And let's see, set buffs. Oh, have you guys done any pre-fight spells?
Just
I guess
personal.
we guess we haven't really. Okay, that's fine.
Oh god,
Good golly.
that's a lot of damage. 12 and 11 with the sneak attack. The man wakes up screaming as you plunge your claws into his chest. As he wakes up screaming, you hear, "Oh, what the hell? Oh gosh! Robble." But that was good. That was a good first strike. All right.
He's bleeding now.
Yeah, that's good.
My claws are wounding
Doesn't
now.
feel good.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Story.
could have covered his mouth first.
I don't think the cat would do that. That doesn't seem
In character,
It's
yeah.
Not in my
character.
idiom.
No, not at all.
Well,
I'm Storek. I'm a wizard. I actually went champion archetype. That makes sense.
champion.
Yes.
Here I am, ready for.
Actually,
Fighting.
choose not to take a mythic path because it's below me. I need not your paltry mythic power.
No, your mythic power is wasted upon my intellect.
You imagine.
Since I have a round and a half, I'm gonna cast Mythic Mage Armor. And then,
Cheating.
so that way I can't get murdered.
Fire party constantly cheats. It's really.
And then I use my canonically 9th level wand of magic missile on this guy up here on this roof that I can probably see.
Yeah, he's like lazily like leaning over the side with like a crossbow in his arm, but he's like half dozed. He's a little more alert now after his friend screamed.
Yeah. But only a little.
Shadow essence. It's a hell of a drug.
Plus, plus 3. Cool. Bing. Alright, so in which case all the magic missiles will hit him and he'll take 17 points of
Pop, 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 pop.
magic
Oh,
force
God!
damage.
Oh, the magic, it burns! Everyone's waking up! Tell you that
Oh.
much. Steer, you're up next.
It's almost like we didn't use any of the advantage that we did this for.
It's fine. I think this is completely on point for the party.
Seer,
I mean that with respect and love.
Seer starts to sing. He says, "Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. 1, nothing wrong with us. 2, something wrong with them. 3, draw your spells and swords. 4, drop their bodies to the floor." And then he will move to...
What is that awful racket?
Yeah. So he will move to here. And then he will... Wait, is this guy behind a
He is
building?
behind a building. There is a building there, yes.
Yeah, okay. So then instead of that, he... Yes, perfect. He'll just he'll shoot that guy with his crossbow.
Do it. He's sitting up now, so you're only going to take a -2 to the attack instead of a -4.
And I've got point blank shot
Beerus is
And
holding
mythic.
him in your direction.
and mythic point blank shot. So
Like
hopefully
a cat that brings you a dead mouse. Look what I brought you. Except it's a corrupted crusader. You weird fucking cat. Meow. Dare I say, meow. Clicky click.
yeah, it's coming. It's coming through. Right there.
Ooh,
That's
unfortunately-
13.
Unfortunately, that is not a hit. You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Oh,
That's a
I should
bummer.
totally do that.
Hey Kyle, you're up next.
All right. I am making best possible speed in my full plate mail armor.
So, hold on 1 second. It's impossible for that to be an 11.
That's a very good point.
Because, okay, I don't think my sheet calculated after I hit Inspire Courage. Because my bonus to attack right now should be a 13. So I don't know what's happening there.
Say again. I'm sorry.
So I don't know what exactly is happening because my bonus to attack right now should be a 13.
What did it roll? A +9. Well,
It rolled an 11.
let's take a look at your character sheet, baby bird.
Yeah.
Take a look at it. All right, we're going down to your crossbow. Your attack bonus is a +11.
Right. And then with my point blank shot and mythic point blank shot, it'll give it 2 more.
Did you put point blank shot as a buff?
No, I just put it as a note because I don't know how to do that.
Baby bird, I got you. I got you. Don't even worry about it. Does point blank shot get extended with mythic, or is it just?
I took my a mythic feat as point blank shot, so it it stacks with point blank shot.
Does it increase the range or anything?
No, just within 30, it's a +2 to hit and a +2 damage.
+2 hit, +2 damage?
Yes.
You have a buff now called Mythic Point Blank Shot that you can activate and deactivate whenever it's relevant. It will add +2 to attack and damage.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I do what I can. Unfortunately, even with that bonus, you still rolled pretty low.
I did.
Now the good news is, cultists are still waking up. The bad news is, you know what doesn't sleep?
Demons.
Yeah, so it lets out a horrific, blood-curdling meow, and it's a Shadow Kitty now, and it's mocking Fierce with its Shadow Kitty nature. No, I'm just kidding. It is simply going to turn invisible, and God's only knows where it went.
Bitch.
I knew I should have memorized Invisibility Purge.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so you blew past me there, Wolfie. What's up with that?
No, it's because I hate you.
Okay.
And
Well,
your,
I'm with
and
that.
Your, and your silly face, and your silly stuff. I'm just going down the list really quick. Hold on. I'll
Point of fact, I was still trying to ask you how far I could move in my turn. I moved up 40 feet, and then we doubled back to check out that mathematical error.
So sorry. Point of order.
No problem.
Point of order. I fucked up. So there it is. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me roll back up to the top here. I'm fixing initiatives really quick. All right. You can move, double move, and then take a. So actually, you could like double move to here, and then like charge this guy right here if you wanted to.
Oh yes. Yes, I will happily take that option.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I got you.
Alrighty.
Finbar, think about what you want to do on your turn. You're not going to get one, but I want you to think about it so you can be disappointed when you don't get your turn. That's cool. Okay, cool.
Done.
So that
Excellent. Done. Already disappointed? Fantastic.
All
Love
right.
to see it.
So then is I can add this in later, is charge. That would be something else I could add as a buff.
You could add as a buff.
On the-
Personally, I don't think it's worth it, in my opinion, because it's just a +2 to attack. You just be like, hey, I'm charging, add a +2 to my roll. It's like one of those, like, it's
Okay.
more work than it's worth to add the buff, in my opinion.
Alright, so myself and Screaming Beauty, we are charging straight into that asshole.
Love to see it. That is a hit for 14 damage. Love to see it. A clock, and he says,
Straight
alright.
across with a bastard with a bastard, and you are done for.
Roderick is going to similarly move here with a double move. Roderick bought Brutes of Springing and Striding with his gold. So he moves faster. He gets to here, and then what he's going to do is he's going to bring that beautiful greatsword that's now enchanted down upon this motherfucker's head. Boy, howdy, that was actually not as well as I would have liked. But as he brings it down on that guy's head, 2d6, guess who now also took Furious Focus as a feat? His first attack doesn't care about the power attack issue. Yay! That'll be 2d6 plus 15. 22 damage. That will be his turn, as he just roars like a rage monster. Alright, Furious, this is normal initiative. The bad guys will get to act this round.
Wait.
I told you didn't get a turn! I'm just kidding. Go ahead, take a turn, Finbar.
No, too late. I have to go now.
All right.
you,
All
Finbar.
the
Love you.
all the allies of the party take bless, please.
Oh, thank you kindly.
Please, sir, may I have another?
You bitched about you not having a turn, and that's what you do with it? You
And
cast bless?
it's still +1, right?
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's too spread out for prayer or any of the cool stuff. So
Lord have mercy.
Storic, I hope you have some show invisibility or glitter dust or whatever it is you people do to show that shadow demon.
Or whatever it is you silly little wizards do.
I have a prisoner for good luck.
Historic, your amulet feels really hot right now.
Nice.
Like warm.
Oh,
Like uncomfortably warm.
Awesome.
You will save. And this time,
And take a
Fantastic.
+1 to that.
and this time
Right.
I'm not joking.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Stork's got some
I'm sure.
pretty good will save.
I'm sure it won't turn us.
All right, so just add 1 to this roll. I'm not going to bother. I haven't
Yeah, just
corrected
add 1.
Inspire Courage yet.
Cool, awesome. I'll take note of that.
Okay, thank you.
Gonna put a quick little 1 in your blue box. Please don't use your blue bubble for anything else. I'll be tracking things on that.
I forgot to move.
Guys, come back later. I'm addicted to Shadow Essence somehow. What happened?
Come back later. He's just a tiefling, and he's like, all you people look the same.
All people look the same.
I have some ideas, like, out of character real quick, Brian, of, like, what that amulet will do, but I also don't want to take away player agency, so it's something I'll get with you on the side. But I've got some
figured,
ideas.
yeah.
I also know you as a player are super just roll with it, so
Yep.
it felt right to put this in your possession as a potential plot device. So we'll talk.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, anything else, Finbar?
No, I'm good.
All right, Fierce, I'm sorry that Finbar interrupted your turn. Go ahead.
It's all right. I'll let it go this time.
Can't stop.
All right. I guess this time I don't have my sneak attack, but that's fine.
Why would you not? He hasn't acted yet in the initiative.
Oh, that's right. All right,
Yeah.
he takes 24 damage.
You rake your claws across his neck, pulling it out like a vicious animal, and that corrupted crusader is dead.
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Nice. You know, I recently watched the new Roadhouse, and it got a lot of flack.
Pretty good, though,
I
right?
actually really
It's pretty
enjoyed
good.
it. Like, I enjoyed
I
it.
really
Like, there
enjoyed
was
it.
some flag. I was like, that was a fun movie. Like, I went into it with very low expectations, similar to the way I went into the first one with very low expectations, and came out pleasantly surprised.
First one's one of my favorite. I love the first
Oh,
one.
Roadhouse is fantastic, man. It's a classic. Absolutely. It was. I just thought it was good. It was well done. That's all I could say. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was fun. That's all I could say. All right, beautiful turn. Stork, you're up next.
All right, I'm going to move to there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my wand to hit that guy with 4 more.
As you move to there, the amulet feels less warm.
Huh.
Weird, right?
Oh
Interesting.
no. Oh no.
Wait for me!
All right. I'm going to roll a quick for myself
Yeah.
to decide whether or not I feel like, hey, Steer, pick high or low.
Low.
Thank you.
Oof.
In his verve to magic missile that guy again, he does not even pay attention to the, other than to note that it's, oh, it's nice that it's, oh, I only rolled 4 of them last time. It should be 5. Plus 4 plus 3. To kill that guy. Nope. Cool. What did I do wrong here?
Everything.
Oh, no, I figured it out.
Nice. Pop, 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 pop. That guy, as the last missile strikes him, tumbles over, falls to the ground, and breaks his neck. Well done, Storic.
I got one! Look, everyone!
Traitor
The
Crusader.
wizard got a kill before the paladin did. Oh my god.
That's embarrassing. Speaking of embarrassing, Sierra, you're up next.
Yes. Mighty embarrassing.
I went through her side door. I don't think that means what you think it means. And I really need you to stop saying it.
You keep using that word.
Hilarious.
All right. Okay.
Stork finishes killing that guy, and then he goes, "Did anybody see where the demon went?"
I think he went invisible.
I thought you had him.
And I am going to spend a mythic power to have Mikhail attack on my turn.
Oh,
sweet.
Fucking Marshall bullshit.
Y'all.
That's pretty good. Cal, you may take a free attack on your turn. On his turn.
Excellent. Excellent.
And
Hopefully it's
then-
Sordulant.
Oh wait, you mean right now?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Outstanding, outstanding. I'm
Hey,
just sitting here tending my
guys-
kitty, if you know what I mean.
This is your first real foray with mythic power. I encourage you to use it. It's a chance for you to be like, how does this fucking work? Yeah, that's
Over-
a hit. That is a
Overhand chop with a follow-up across his guts.
It's just one attack, unfortunately, but yes. Sierra, anything else?
Judo chop.
Yes, I would like to gamble.
Okay.
And cast Glitter Dust.
Ooh, where are you gonna cast it?
I am going to cast it. Let's see, where was Storic before? Storic was right around
Right around here.
here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would. So then I would like to probably center it. Yeah. Right.
Right about there.
Yeah.
we're all just clicking
All right.
things.
Hey, I'm gonna give you a chance on this because I like that you're thinking outside the box. I'll be completely honest. The demon may or may not be in that location. Edging towards not, but I think you're in the right track, and I want to reward your creativity. I'm gonna give you a high or low chance if the demon is in that location.
Okay. I will take low.
Fantastic. As you pop the glitter dust, the shadowy outline of a demon appears
Fantastic.
there. And again, I just want to compliment you on thinking outside the box and being creative with spells. That was awesome. So yes, he's absolutely there.
Woohoo! And that is the end of my turn.
And you have a shadowy outline of this demon. Mikhail, it is your actual turn.
Okay. So, I will take a singular attack against this man with the prayer that it's going to kill him. And then I'm going to have to reverse course and go chase the demon. Because I've got to get me some of that. So, this will be
Demon says,
backhanded chop from the
"Rah."
Backhanded chop across the thigh up into the chest, and pieces go falling.
Ooh, that
because
man is
I-
decapitated.
And then, excuse me, as I do this one-handed, 20 feet back that way.
Is your other hand
And I-
playing a piano?
No, my other hand's holding a kitty that is drooling like a goddamn Saint Bernard.
Euphemism?
No, he's got the problem with his teeth. He drools and he keeps flinging his head around and covering me in ugh. So yeah, that is the conclusion of my activities. I am wearing 75 pounds of heavy metal charging towards him. Come here, you!
This cultist archer here says, a wizard. crossbow. And by crossbow, I mean he's literally getting up still, and he's loading his crossbow. The Shadow Demon, though, however, is gonna do some bullshit.
of course.
Hey! Finbar, do you have protection from evil on?
No.
Cool. Give me a will save. As
I
the-
do have the Archon's aura, though. Does that help me?
Well, let's look up Archon's aura.
Let's see.
Does
Spells.
it act like protection from evil?
Powerful aura. Any hostile. Will save.
Nope. Cool. Give me a will save as the demon looks in your eyes.
All right. Fingers crossed.
Thank God. You feel like it's trying to be absorbed into your body and take over your mind. It doesn't work. It's frustrated, so instead it charges forward and tries to shadow slash you. So what is your touch AC? Really good, right?
10.
Really good, right? Like it's the best. It's the best touch AC in the world. Yeah, all right. It's gonna get one attack. Wow! Shadow Demon ain't shit. Shadow Papa. Shadow
Eat
Papa ain't shit. Eat a dick.
He was too frustrated and he forgot he was a dwarf, so he just swiped right over his head.
That's hilarious. This guy here kind of gets ready. We got some guys. So you got a couple of cultists / gentlemen that just start to kind of like move in closer as they're waking up and like grabbing their gear.
How long does it take for them to don armor?
Well, you assume they weren't all just sleeping in armor and saying fuck it. So
Fair.
what? Derwolf's not just gonna give you this fight. It's gonna make it kind of hard a little bit. All right, cool. Finbar, your go.
Okay, hands up. Who's ready for some bullshit? For my first actiony typey thingy, I'm gonna trigger off the righteous might from my armor, which does some stuff.
Yeah.
If I remember right, it makes me. Was it one size larger, or does it make me large?
So your height immediately doubles. You go up one size category.
Okay, so I'm
Boop.
still kind of. All right.
No, you're a medium creature. You become large size.
Fantastic. Then I'll click on my righteous might Buffy thingy that I put together,
Beautiful.
and I'm going to attack this guy.
I like where your mind's at.
And I'm going to say, you have no power here.
Shadow Demon says, bah. Oh!
Oh!
Very
Ka-chunk!
nice.
As like bits of shadowy essence get ripped out of him, and the demon goes, "Brah, what power is this?" And it looks real fucking scared.
And it also gives me DR5 if I read this right. So
You did indeed read that right. This gentleman here is going to pull back on his crossbow that he had in his hand because he was kind of half awake, and he's going to ka-chunk at Storic. Oh my god. Sorry, Storic. Oh, fuck.
Whoops.
Jesus Christ.
I have an AC of 24.
That's fucking bullshit.
I'm a wizard with an AC of 24. How did you do
It's
this?
actually only 10 damage. It's a crossbow, not a bow. Bow would have been scary, but he'd take 10 damage. Ka-chunk.
Ow.
That was fucking weird, man. Always beating up on Storic, man.
I mean, I'm the wizard.
Can't stop, won't stop. Alright, this guy here is also going to take a pot shot at Storic. Miss. This cultist archer here is going to try to stand up, provoking from Roderick, who says, "I will not tolerate the forces of evil!" Well, he decapitates him. So that's his turn.
No tolerance
And now
policy.
it's Roderick's turn, who is going to just roar in like a blood-curdling rage. He's going to use a mythic point to activate Fleet Charge, which allows him to move up to here and make a single attack, which he will do against this guy. He swings with a 23, which is a hit, for 23 damage. Now he can take his full round attack.
Oh,
He will do
God.
this, and then he will do this. Unfortunately, both those miss, but it was still a pretty good turn, and he's just rage roaring right now and just having a good time. All right, Furus, you're up next. You're a kitty.
I'm going to charge
glad folks like Roderick. He was sort of an afterthought when I was setting up the campaign, and I'm glad he's stuck around. He's fun. What, Mikhail? You told him just focus his rage. He's focusing his rage. Yeah. What do you want from the guy?
No, it's like I was kind of an afterthought on a particular night when my mom did cocaine. I stuck around.
No, come on. Jesus Christ, 40? You savage devil, you. That's a hit for 15. Unfortunately, he is incorporeal and cannot be sneak attacked because there's no parts, but that's a solid blow. Solid blow. Your claws are magical, right?
Yeah, they're +2 legendary claw blades of wounding now.
All right, Storic.
They're a mythic item. They're my legendary item.
Ooh, you're a sassy devil over there taking legendary items. I like where your mind's at. Can we call them? Can we call them mythic toe beans?
You can see he's torn about the idea.
He likes it, but he also hates that he didn't think of it first. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know. You don't have to. I'm gonna do it in my own headcanon though.
Why is Storic on the roof?
Are you?
Oh, good question.
Are you relating?
Why aren't
you?
you?
Are you renaming them? If you're renaming them,
I don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
very happy.
Why would I do that?
Legendary toe beans of wounding.
All right. Storic
having
is actually
fun
going to
here.
cast Heart of the Metal again, which will lend the cold iron effect to all the weapons, to everybody in our party's weapons, except for mine, because I can do it for 5 weapons. So everybody gets cold iron now, which will mean that you
Mine
can overcome.
already is.
Even
So
better.
do yours.
I mean, mine's a dagger. I'm never going to use it.
I love
But
you.
sure.
I love you, Drew.
Yeah. In which case, if yours is already, I'll also make it silver. Like, I can just. Oh no, that's not true. I can't do that.
Oh my god. Fucking die.
Anyway, yeah. So then, yeah, I make everybody's everybody's piece of weaponry cold iron, so that it'll overcome the DR of the Shadow Demon.
Beautiful.
And that's my spell. And then I am gonna stay where I am because it's a pretty good place for the wizard to be.
Yeah, not a bad spot at all. Seer, you're up next.
I will. I'm gonna cast Sound Burst,
Ooh.
and I am going to center it probably right here. Come on. Just thinking about it.
Right there.
Nice.
Right about here
Oh, on the demon.
on the demon.
Okay. Love
Really?
it.
Just to see what we can do.
Okay.
So that will be that's a DC 18
Will save? Or force save?
of Fortitude.
Surprisingly enough, shitty fortitude saves. They made it.
He made it, and
Shadow
Nope.
Papa.
8 damage.
Hey, can't argue with that. Boom. Sonic damage does go right to him, even though he's incorporeal. What else you got for us, if anything?
That's it. That's all I've got.
Solid turn, Mikhail.
Alrighty. So I'm going to pass on the goodness, and I'll use one of my mythic points so that Finbar can have another attack on my turn. And then I already measured it out to 15 feet. I will charge the sumbitch
Oh, this poor Shadow Demon's about to
With-
get fucked.
with my glorious, glorious weapon, with that beautiful, beautiful sword that just feels so right in my hand these days. Where did I put my attacks? Once again, show me the beautiful. Show me the beautiful.
Ooh. Oh. Oh.
And we've got flanking
more
on
on-
top
I'm
of that,
charging.
right?
Let him breathe, man. Let him breathe. For the
No,
love
no.
of Saint Pearl. That demon
Drop his
looks
body
like
to the floor.
that demon looks like it's about to discorporate, my friend. Not quite there,
Yes.
but he's close. He's damn close.
Your wickedry is no might, no match for the fellowship of Seer, mine.
Up the
Yo,
quill.
mama!
Of the quill! Alright, beautiful.
Of the
This guy
girthy
here
quill?
is going to take a shot at...
The Fellowship of the Girthy Quill!
It's
I-
not
Oh,
long,
God.
but
I
it
hate
is
it.
girthy.
I hate it so much.
All in favor of Fellowship
Storic,
of the
you
Girthy
get
Quill?
shot again. I'm sorry, you're right there.
No.
Shadow Papa is going to...
Good sir.
What?
Rewind. I gave another attack.
Finbar doesn't get
You Finbar.
turns. We established this early in the session. No, go ahead, Finbar.
Coming up.
You're doing a great job, Mikael. That was a great choice for your character. Unfortunately, that's the fucking hit. 11 damage. Yeah, so the Shadow Demon's looking really fucking fucked up. It's gonna just do a... It's gonna... crap. No, it could do... Maybe it does... Noel, it could do... what if I do this? I could do the fort. Okay, you know what it's gonna do? You know what it's gonna do? It's gonna attempt to do a shadow evocation just to drop a shadow fireball at its feet and just say fuck it. So it's gonna make a cast defensively check. It has to do 15 plus 8, so 23 cast defensively. It's level 10. Its save is a plus 13. It has a decent chance on this. It fucking rolls a nat 1, provoking attacks of opportunity from all of you. And you guys can just... I'll make attacks of opportunity and just tear this fucking thing apart. Wow, the world one's really scary. Demons are super scary. And you just fucking bone
Oh no!
Oh,
damn
fear! Oh, God! So I just imagine
No
that,
chance against the toe
you
beams.
smack into its head with a massive hammer, by the way, Finbar. Fucking Mikhail's coming in, chopping off a wing. Furious is just leaping into it, like chasing the red dot and attacking shadows. And this thing just gets discorporated.
Nice.
For the
Get out of
girthy
my
quill!
As soon as it drops, this guy in front of Roderick, like, drops to the ground, and Roderick, who's roaring with his sword in his hand, pauses. He actually manages to pause, looking down. And then all of the corrupted crusaders start screaming out and crying in, like, pain and torment. And 30 seconds later, the crying stops. Storic, Finbar, all of you, like, the two of you would recognize that, like, oh, they were under its control. And they have now been released from it. They slowly start to rise, pained expressions on their faces, embarrassment, regret, as I have said before. And one of them finally steps forward to whomever is his closest. Let's say it's Mikhail.
Storic runs over to Roderick to be like, Roderick, no! They were under the influence of the demon!
He lowers
It'll
his
be
blade,
fine.
puts it on his back, and he says, "Yes, Mikhail told me to focus my rage. The man before me does not deserve it. He deserves mercy." And then he'll just stomp you over to here. But effectively, here's what happens. You guys can take these crusaders, although corrupted, now released, under your wings. Your army goes from like 100 to like 115, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Nice.
Good shit.
Yes. We have more friends. We have saved more souls.
You have saved more souls, which gives you some points that I'm keeping track of in the back line. If that
That's
demon would have
probably good.
fucking mind controlled you, that's where shit gets crazy. I have run this encounter before where the demon does magic jar and like just mind controls one of the people and then like knocks people out and proceeds to jump from person to person every round, just like mind controlling and making them do shit. It was an ugly encounter. You guys though,
Yeah.
can't stop, won't stop is all I can say.
Nope.
So there.
I
it is.
was kind of expecting a mind control-y thingy on Fierce.
You know, it saw the cleric and like it was kind of a pride thing. You know
Too
what I mean?
tempting a target.
Yeah, it was a pride thing, man. To corrupt a cleric, ooh, that tastes good. Demon delicious. All right. The next several days, you do manage to camp, but the next several days are hard marching, as the crusade does a good 50 miles over the course of 3 days, coming to Verileth
Oh.
Ford.
Ooh,
Ooh,
As you
it's a good thing I
arrive,
know how to cast
that's a
mount.
rough march.
as you arrive at
That
Verileth
is.
Ford, I am going to show you a overview of what you guys see as you look down on Verileth Ford. There we go. Boom. All right. I also want to say I absolutely love this map. It is gorgeous and pretty and just very well done, and super big props to whoever drew it, which I believe it is Czepku, who I found. Just big props to that guy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautifully done map. So, the bridge itself is 15 feet wide and crosses a narrow part of the river. On the south side, there are several small buildings that seem to be for storage, maybe guards, supplies. And on the north side, you see a small contingent of what looks to be corrupted crusaders, cultists, and a couple of minor demons that are mounting large ballistas along the opposite side,
Stay.
and have
Ballistae.
flaming pots that they might look like they would be willing to chuck in your direction. This is going to be a tough one, boys. You will have to figure out how to cross the bridge, take the bridge, push in, lest your army be destroyed by the ballista and the siege weapons that they have across the bridge. But that, my friends, unfortunately, is going to be something we deal with next session. Next session, my friends. That is the end of session 11. A little bit of a nice fight. You guys got to feel like complete badasses, which I thought was fantastic. And we had some good role play. I was complimenting you guys during our kind of mid-session break there. I just want to compliment you guys again. Love this group with the role play. I've been very, very lucky with the role play I've had on both my streams, both in Kingmaker as well as with Wrath of the Righteous. You guys get into it, which is why I do this. I like the acting part of it. But as I always say at the end of every session, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns before we get ready to wrap up session 11 and do a quick after-session powwow?
Good game, guys.
Yeah.
Great game.
Very good.
Super,
This was excellent.
super fun.
Was there anything on the Shadow Demon, or did he just go kapoofy?
I mean, he's made of shadows, so no.
He's made of shadow. You
Yeah.
think he's holding on to
He's
things?
not. Yeah,
Little-
Hey man,
anything.
you don't
Little
know if you
extra
don't
drugs.
ask. That's what I'm wondering, is if his boy comes back, looking for his fix.
There it is. There it is. Well, as I always say at the end of every session, thank you very much to players for playing. Without you guys, this is literally impossible. Thank you to viewers for viewing. Anybody that's catching us on the stream, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow, and leave a nice comment about how much you love Storic's Rambling, Furious's Legendary Toe Beans, Mikhail's Rage, Finbar's Dorfiness, and Sears' Copyright Infringement. Until next time, be well, be safe, happy gaming, and remember, the dice have a story to tell, and every week we figure out what that story is. This week, they're still badasses. Good night, everybody.